Data compiled by a nonprofit news organization shows that the city of Los Angeles spent more on parking enforcement than it generated over the last 5 years. The report, compiled by Crosstown, a nonprofit news organization based at the USC Annenberg School of Communication and Journalism, shows the city spent $192 million more in parking and traffic enforcement than it brought in since 2017. Since the 2017 fiscal year, the city raked in $617 million in parking tickets while spending over $809 million on salaries, equipment, and other enforcement-related expenses. The last 2 fiscal years, affected by restrictions imposed in response to the coronavirus pandemic, account for the largest shortfall, with nearly $121 million more spent on enforcement than generated through citations. During the 2020-21 fiscal year, which ended on June 30, the city's Department of Transportation spent $56.4 million more than it took in, compared to a shortfall of $64.4 million the previous year. While the shortfall did begin before the pandemic, the data shows that the suspension of parking regulations during the first 8 months of the pandemic contributed to the financial crunch. In January 2020, there were more than 200,000 tickets issued, but 3 months later that number stood at about 45,000. The Los Angeles Department of Transportation's Director of Information, Colin Sweeney, told Crosstown that the department's costs rose due to a record number of hours of service for a variety of citywide projects. Over the last decade, while revenue from citations has remained within a consistent range, our Parking Enforcement Division has also provided a record number of traffic safety control hours for citywide projects, including street repair and maintenance, the construction and expansion of metro transit projects, and homeless encampment cleanups, he said.